So, I wanted to talk about role models and why it's important for all of us to maintain the integrity and respect and politeness and kindness that I was talking about in my last video. Back in 2000, there was an article written by CBS News. It's called The Delinquents. And it's about a situation in a park in South Africa where the elephants grew to too many numbers. And so they had to do the best thing that they could at the time, because the incident happened 20 years prior to that. There was no way to relocate the adult elephants. There was nothing that they had to move such a large animal. So the solution was not a good one. What they did was they ended up killing the adults, and they were able to relocate the juveniles. Well, they relocated them into this park, and as the juveniles grew into adolescence and adulthood, they became violent. First killing the rhinos, and they easily could tell that it was not the work of poachers. And then they became even more violent still, because those juveniles started to create more or less gangs. And they had already been introduced to violence from their parents getting killed and murdered, really, but terminology is irrelevant here. What happens when we don't have positive role models? What happens when we let bad behavior go and there's no repercussion for bad behavior, and it grows into adulthood? Really, logically, from my perspective, I see two sides of the tracks. People will become either violent or they will become depressed and repressed. Low self-esteem, no confidence, because they don't know what to strive for. They don't know what they should be, who they should be. In both cases, they don't know who they should be. So without a positive role model to guide them, without positive leaders to guide them, things begin to fall apart. So in the park, the solution that they come up with to diminish the violence was they introduced adult bull elephants that had been raised in the wild, that knew proper behavior for an elephant. And they were shocked to find that there was almost immediate positive results. We've all heard the stories about the ex-gang member that starts the inner city youth groups and things like that because they chose a different path for their lives, to great success in many of them, especially because they already understand what those juveniles, the delinquents, are going to do because they've been there. But these elephants straightened them out because they knew right behavior. We don't have a lot of consequences anymore for our actions. A lot of times it's slaps on the wrist and sent on your way, or you're put into detention where there's no more guidance than there was at home. I think that we need to see more people take up the role that I've taken to try to fill by maintaining a certain level of integrity and treating people with respect and treating other people right, so that it can be seen the positivity that comes back to the world whenever there is someone that maintains that level, strength, determination, and air to be positive. And I know I'm not always one to say that I am absolutely positive. I've been through a lot in my life, and I think that's why I care so much. Because I've faced a lot of consequences for bad decisions. So I understand I've had to take the hard road because I've never seen any other way. Us as adults, we really need to show a better way of life for other people. I see a lot of people run their mouth and be ugly and talk down to people. Many of them fill role model spots. CEOs, presidents, politicians. And I'm not talking you have to be PC all the time. I'm not one to be PC all the time. But what's really important is that you don't get ugly without good cause. You don't sink into that negativity just because you're in a bad mood. If you're in a bad mood, be silent. Don't hurt people that don't deserve it with your words. All you're doing is teaching other people that they should be mean and ugly when they're in a bad mood, or that the mood strikes them. We really need to reach out to everybody and lift them up. Because there's a lot of negative role models in the world that show people that it's okay to be ugly and to treat people poorly and brutalize people, not just physically but mentally. Mentally actually causes a lot more deep-rooted scars than physically. And lead by example has a lot of power to it. I think that a lot of people will see what we do and try to mimic it if they look up to us. And if we don't try to show people that we're worth mimicking or that we have value, then they're probably just going to go about causing all manner of debauchery. Why do we want that in our world? Why don't we take the time to teach people the right way? People often tell me when they get a moment to talk to me or something that I'm a very kind person, that I speak from my heart. And that's because I actually care, and I care about the planet that I live on. I care about the people that live on our planet, the life that lives on our planet that we share. Why do we constantly think that we've got to just take for ourselves when it is so much more rewarding to lift others and see other people succeed as well as yourself. It's not a dog-eat-dog world, unless you make it a dog-eat-dog world. We can all succeed. We can all do what we dream of. We can all share our passions. And we're taught that we should not have those passions, that we should not have that love, that we should not have that caring, because nobody's gonna care about us. And I know I feel like that a lot of times anyways. But I might be selling from my wallet to speak as a salesperson that I've been for at different times, because I care so much. Maybe I care too much. Maybe that's where some of my depression comes from, you know? And so I don't understand, and I have trouble understanding how someone doesn't care about me as much as I care about them, you know? But what's important is that even if I feel that way, I don't treat people badly because of it. Man, people hurt me all the time. I have a big heart. It's easy to hit that heart, you know? But I still keep reaching, because that's what we're supposed to do. We love each other. We gotta love each other. There's a lot of people that go hungry in this world, and there's a lot of people that are rich that don't even care. Or they say they care. They contribute to charity for a tax break, you know? Really care. Don't take from somebody just because you can, because all you're doing is teaching somebody else that that's what they should do. Man, maybe if you asked, maybe you'd have a better response. Maybe you get told no. Maybe you have fear of rejection. Lord knows I have fear of rejection, but I don't care. I still ask first. It's just the right way to be. Maybe I was raised right, or maybe it was the stuff that I bred into myself. Well, bred's not a great word there, but that I procreated within myself. But anyways, I just wanted to share that with you, because I thought of that article the other day, and I wanted to talk about it because I think it makes a huge impact, because it shows that with a positive influence, you get positive results. With a negative influence, you get negative results. You got pedophiles as politicians and celebrities right now. Are those people you really want to have as a role model? I don't. That stuff's messed up, man. It shows you how dark and evil the leaders of our world are. And all of you, I shouldn't say all of you, many of you follow these people. Many of you are still going to vote for these people. How could you possibly vote for someone that is a known rapist, a known pedophile, a known abuser of the law? So many of these politicians have been shown to be this, and why do we make that the gold standard as to what we should aspire to be so we can be rich? Man, I'll tell you, I've been around a lot of rich people, and they're no better than us. Most of them are worse because they have the money to get away with it. That's sad. The leaders of our world are tearing our world apart. Environmentally, socially, spiritually, economically. Anyways, I guess that's about all I have to say for today. Thanks for looking. Love you guys. Have a great weekend.